Hi everyone, it's Mary Soliel again from Flagler Beach, Florida, the Intercoastal Waterway. I was here last time. The energy was so wonderful. I decided to come back. And this is such an important video. And I hope you've seen the last, well, especially the last couple videos that are on this subject, because we are in incredible times, and time is of the essence. Is it time to get on the ark? As I've shared in these recent videos, especially, God is coming through the meek, as in the meek shall inherit the earth, and the meek around the world are hearing messages, seeing visions, having dreams, seeing signs, on and on and on, all talking about our spiritual exodus, our rapture, our whatever you want to call it, that we'll be leaving, the calamities that are just ahead. And it's something to be very excited about. Just hold on, stay with me. Here we go. When I was preparing for this video this morning, I heard Archangel Michael say, twinkling of an eye, and it reminds me of how many times he said that. And I was like, I must have put it in one or two of my books, and I felt to go to my personal channels. And this is what he said 9 years ago. 9 years ago. So he was saying that to me, but it is a message to be shared. He actually used the word plucked out. I don't remember that message at all, to be honest, but I was guided to this one by searching twinkling. So that phrase, plucked out, so interesting, because I use that like in the last few years since that dream I had where we were in that tsunami. A tsunami was approaching, and there was no fear. I said, we'll be okay. And we were plucked out to safety. And I've shared much more since. I mean, I see it now. This morning, I heard twinkling of an eye, There are so many of us meek people that are receiving these visions, these dreams, these messages, these signs, on and on and on, about our being plucked out, our being raptured. And it's going to happen on, that many of us believe very strongly, that's going to happen September 23rd, 24th of this year. We're talking a week away. By the time you see this, it'll be a week or less. A week or less. Today is September 14, 2025. And I have much more I'm excited to share with you now. Could it happen in 5 seconds from now? Maybe. Could it happen the day after? Who knows? By the way, when I say 23rd, 24th, it depends on what time zone we're in the world, okay? But it's all going to happen, from what we all understand. It's going to be instantaneous that we go together. And if it weren't to happen, which I don't even want to address, but I know people are, wondering, and I'm saying, like, I'm not going to erase my channel. I'll still be talking to you. I believe with my whole heart and soul it's going to be happening very, very soon. And the bottom line is, my faith is untouched by no matter what happens. It's so strong. Archangel Michael, I felt, gave me that phrase, relentless faith. And that's what we need right now, to have relentless faith that we'll be okay. More than okay. Have no fear when in God's hands. To me, nothing could be more exciting, more rejuvenating, more gratifying than being lifted away from the calamities that are directly ahead. As expected, ever since the blood moon of the lunar eclipse on September 7th, I think it was, things have really intensified. Deceptions are out of control. Whatever big is happening and media's all over it, and we must use our discernment as to what is really going on. We're being so played, you guys. Are we done being played? Are we done being lied to? Archangel Michael said this in Michael's clarion call. The more that we are aware, the more that we are going to welcome with our hearts and souls to escape from here. I know that some people are scared, I get it. But are we really going to miss this existence? When we're going to have a heavenly one, eventually our heaven on earth, where we are with God, with Christ, with our loved ones. All the attachments that we feel we are attached to now, we all have them, are going to be obsolete. I do believe we won't remember a lot of the pain. Maybe not any of it, I don't know, but I just have this feeling, and that's why I've been going through a life review while still in this body. I'm just going through a life review, doing all the observing of my life, of all the loving and forgiving, everything, of self and others, and getting prepared for what's ahead. The time is short. The bottom line is, do we choose God or do we choose this? We've been conditioned to be attached to our earthly ways. It really is a conditioning from the powers that shouldn't be over so much time. But is it time, queens and kings, princes and princesses, is it time to really get with our souls, because we're so far from our souls, from God, from the divine, from love, pure love. We're going to feel pure love where we're going. We don't need to be attached to our ways of being and seeing anymore. We can let it go. And it's going to happen so instantaneously. I believe we're going to be in such bliss that we won't even go there. The enemy knows, what's ahead, of course. Always. They are always reacting, right, to the divine, right? So they're going to try and explain what happened by some fake whatever. I don't even want to go there. Just know that they're doing their part too. We're still on this plane of duality. It's the meek. It's the meek. It's the humble. It's those that love God so much, love Christ so much. We're told to listen for the trumpet, that will be the sound that we'll hear, that will be calling us up. And we go up. I told you about my dream in the last video. I asked for a dream, a rapture dream, and 2 days later I got it exactly what I wanted. Again, I highly, highly recommend. Ask God. Don't take my word for anything, anyone's word. Ask yourself, connect with God and ask, is this real? And show me proof. And you know the many ways that you can receive that proof. It will be unmistakable, that sound. I often imagine what it will be like. And interestingly, about a week ago, I heard spiritual bells. Spiritual bells, like they weren't from 3D life. They were coming from the heavens. There was no other explanation. And it just filled my heart. And spiritual bells are very important to me. There's a reason why so many bells have been taken away by the powers that shouldn't be. They're very powerful, healing, high vibrational, on and on. And I thought it so interesting, a lady going by with the number 9 on her t-shirt, 9 September. I mean, there's a sign there. Because I keep seeing 923 as I talked about in the last video for so long. 923 and 924, but 920, you know, it's time zone. And then it was a day or so later, this guy, Chris, who I've been following lately, who's very, very tuned in and has great information. And he said that he heard the trumpet. Is that sound is going on? I don't know if you can hear it. See what I mean by it's just constant confirmations. It's just so, everything's so magical right now. But he heard the trumpet. And I felt to look in comments. It's always good to, especially in these kind of videos, to look at comments and see what other people are experiencing. And someone said, I haven't heard the trumpet, but I've heard bells. And then the person below, me too. And then I basically said, me 3. I'm telling you, so many are having such profound experiences, and it's just accelerating so quickly now. I mean, we are so close, you guys. Please share this with anyone you feel to as soon as you can. Nothing's more important right now. Nothing is more important. We're going home. While in our bodies, we're not dying. We're not dying. We're not dying. It's been said again and again and again. So I pray you're having these confirmations too. Feel free to write me through my website, as I always say, for any confirmations or anything. I'm here to help in any way I can. It was almost a year ago where it was December, right before Christmas 2024, that I felt to read Left Behind, which that book has been out, a major bestseller for 30 years, and I finally read it. So many ways that God is calling us away from here. He's trying to rescue us, but we have to connect with God. We have to make right with God. And I can't wait to be with all the great people of the world and to rejoice when we escape what is ahead. Remember all those signs I had about France and south of France recently, and I said I knew there was a reason, but I'm not sure. Well, I know what it is now. I had seen this, but I was waiting for more confirmation, which I got, and it's quite concerning. Not only that, but France is is going to play a key role in the peace. That's not what it's going to be, you guys. It's very clear what's ahead. And we are being saved from this for those who choose. I shared how, spiritual attack is especially on the rise. And I told my fellow warriors of light of Archangel Michael, we carry his sword with him for the last 7.5 years, but this is for all of us, though, to keep God close, Christ close, and for us warriors, Archangel Michael close. And I know a lot of you are connected with Archangel Michael too, our protector, to keep him close to the last minute. Keep our armor on. Have the sword at the ready. Be powerful, strong, and don't let any influence mess with your beautiful vibrations. In my last video, I shared what happened when I was in the Florida Keys recently, the second time. And I was spiritually attacked in a physical way. And yet, God healed me almost instantaneously and supernaturally, just as I asked. I was completely healed. Just an example of spiritual attack. I mean, I get it harder than most because of the work I do and being a truther and putting myself out there, although I'm so sensitive, I won't get into that again. But that doesn't mean that I'm not still attacked. I notice myself when I share these stories about being, say, spiritually attacked or whatever, dark attack. I smile through it often because I want to show my strength over surrender, my faith over fear, because God is stronger than that. He's way more powerful. And thus the smile. We have to be strong. When I was almost done with editing my last video, almost done, and all of a sudden my movie app on the computer just went down. It showed nothing. My computer started to go down. I do have an old computer, but this shouldn't have been happening. It was fine before, but when I was so close, right? So I prayed on it. I called Apple support, talked to a senior advisor. She said, this makes no sense. This shouldn't, wasn't even sure. She said, this doesn't make sense. And I was so frustrated because I spent so many hours editing, and I want to get this out there. Time is of the essence for these recent videos. And so I stood up, put my hand over the computer and pray to God while on the phone with this person, and prayed fervently. And you guys, all of a sudden, everything started coming up. I didn't lose the video. The computer was working fine. And then I look at the clock and it's 4:44. Can't make this up. I told you I was never well read in the Bible. I mean, I certainly knew of verses since I was a kid, but I do have a really good Bible now with enlarged type, which makes all the difference for me. But I just want that ease of reading, But I still, like I said before, like I said in recent videos the last couple years, I keep being shown verses or pointed to verses, or synchronistically these verses come to me, and I need to pay heed to them. And these are the ones that have been coming up lately, all about what's happening, because it's all there. Just stand with God, stand in love, stand in light, stand with faith and trust in our Creator that is not going to let us go through what is ahead. I will share new links and some old links in the description below. Old links for those that missed it in the past. But I highly recommend that you watch as many as you can and search on your own whatever God is bringing to you to watch. It is so important to listen to these humble believers and what they're experiencing. It'll fill your heart and build your faith even more. It sure does for me. Hold your loved ones close. Trust God. Have faith, relentless faith, and see you soon.